EDP 365 cover topics with explicit and strong language and is intended for mature audiences only. Topics may be sensitive to some, and everyday people may not agree with the views expressed on this discussion, but keep in mind, we are giving you the point of view of everyday people with everyday situations. And EDP 365 is not afraid to go there.
All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? It's Tuesday. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Les.
And I'm Chris Styles, and we're Everyday People 365 on Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live. So if y'all notice, we're somewhere different today. We're not at Chris's house. We're not at my house. We gave y'all a nice old background, so you're getting a 2-for-1 tonight. You're getting me and Chris. Great conversation. Spin around, Chris. And you get a game. And you get a game. So, on the way in, guys, I had to throw my water out. So you know I was not going to be able to bring any wine in here. Mad I had to throw my water in the trash. I'll be thirsty soon. But that's okay, because this is great. We're not out in the heat. We're inside cooling. So I am loving life right now. So this is so great. All right. So let's get to the topic, y'all. No, let me ask you this. What was your day like today, Chris?
Actually, I had a very good day. I had a very good, productive day. I got a lot of things done. Worked through lunch. And I'm here. I'm starving. Hungry as hell. How was your day today?
My day was good. I won't complain. Could have been worse, but I won't complain. I won't complain.
Gotcha.
All right. So let's get to the topic. So tonight, guys, we are talking about red flags in relationships. So let me tell you guys where this came from. And we may have to go back and tell the topic again, because we started a little early tonight, because we ballin', chilling today. So anyway, sometimes after the show, Chris and I have, these long conversations, not always necessarily about the show, but we just have, various conversations. What's up, Rob Baskerville?
What's up, family?
And so we were talking about relationships on last Tuesday. And, he talking about old relationships. I'm talking about relationships, the headaches of relationship, all those things. And so, in telling Chris about bad relationships, hey, Gigi. And telling Chris about bad relationships, we're talking about bad relationships in general. We thought about red flags, how people see the red flags, but don't take heed to the red flags. We're at the diamond. So they ignore them. And so, then I got this, and I probably didn't write it down. But I did write it down. So if y'all saw the promo for today, it says, Steve Harvey said, never let a man tell you twice that he don't want you.
Don't let him do it.
Another red flag. That's a red flag, like right here in your face.
Big. Like, hello.
Just slapping you all up in the face. So, and Gigi is actually the one that pointed that out to me, that Steve Harvey quote. So thank you, Gigi, for that. That was confirmation to go ahead and do this show.
Don't let him tell you twice. How about once?
That's why I tell y'all about weeding and seeding all the time. So, I found this great article. It's called 12 Relationship Red Flags You've Been Overlooking All This Time. Now, I'm not going to read all 12 right now. I'll read them as we go throughout the show. Because I'll read one and then we'll kind of touch on it. So, listen to this, guys. It says, when you really want a romantic relationship to work, it's easy to ignore your partner's less than redeeming qualities. You may find yourself justifying his or her bad behavior or totally overlooking signs that this person may not make a loving, supportive, long-term partner. And that's true. Sometimes when, I don't just want to say when you're desperate for a relationship, but you don't want to be without, I don't want to say you don't want to be without someone. You don't want to be alone. Or you feel you're going to be lonely.
Only the lonely
right.
can play.
When your self-esteem is low. So those things, I think, contribute to ignoring the red flags. Those things contribute to ignoring them. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
This is not a green screen.
So, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. There have been times I've been in relationships and the red flags were there and I ignored them. Sometimes you want your relationships to work out and, you try to talk through things and sometimes, it doesn't work. And again, but the red flags are right there. Chris?
Now, like you said earlier, he said, my mother said it, my grandmother said it, and if a man himself say it, you better believe it. If he says he don't want you, that means that he don't want you. Only reason why I'm saying that is that a lot of us we're going to talk about selective hearing. Just because you want to be in a company or somebody and be around somebody, you have very selective hearing about what goes on in your relationship. And I've never had selective hearing. I had selective choosing, but never selective hearing. I heard what you said, and I'm going to respond to what you said. So we're going to get this straight while we're here right now. You know what I mean? We're going to deal with this situation right here, right now. And, one of the things is, too, you want to be careful if somebody's under, let's say, AKA spirits. If somebody is in their feelings, listen carefully to what he is saying while he's in his feelings. Because a lot of times, when somebody's in their feelings, the truth is going to come out. Whether it's harsh, whether it's brought out in, whatever temperament. But normally, somebody's going to be telling you the truth. Later on, they're going to be saying, well, I was hurting, and that's why I said that. Nah, motherfucker, that's too late. You can't take it back. God got you, motherfucker. I got you.
Oh my God.
So you have to pay attention to those type of things and not allow him or her to talk around or talk their way out of it because they know they fucked up. You know you done fucked up. Or somebody giving you vague responses. Another red flag. If everything is so vague, they can't be pinpoint accurate with you, or they can't tell you X, Y, and Z, that's another red flag. Liz, I'm gonna give it back to you.
All right. So hey Kay, hey Eleanor, hey to everybody who has just tuned in. We are talking about red flags in relationships, and not just existing relationships, but potential relationships as well. And again, y'all, if you've been following me and Chris, following EDP 365, you've heard me say countless times, you got to have that we and see conversation. You have to. Did I say hey, Mel? I hope I did. But you see. That's what we're going to do. You've got to have those we and see conversations, because I think that saves you sometimes from diving into a relationship with somebody and it's not really going to work. You just have to ask the right questions. I think somebody challenged me on the whole we and see thing. But the thing is, you got to ask the right questions. Find out, okay, and I always say this, but do you want kids? Well, no, I don't want kids. Okay, so dude knows, let me move away from her because she don't want kids. Or, I might run into somebody and like, yo, I'm interested in you or whatever. Do you stay out all night? You come home the next day, you clubbing? So that may not work for me, but again, you have to ask those questions so that when you dive into the relationship, you dive into the relationship and you just start finding out all kind of shit just happening and things you don't want to tolerate. All right, so let me give y'all the first 12 relationship red flags.
There's 12?
12, and you touched on one of them.
Only 12?
In this article, there's only 12.
Okay.
All right, your partner badmouths their exes, all of them. All of them. All right.
Yeah,
if your partner talks,
her fault.
Stop.
I'm off the fault. Yeah.
If your partner talks badly about all their exes, this is a red flag that they haven't done any introspection about what their behavior contributed to the deterioration of these previous relationships. And I learned that, I started understanding that as I've gotten older, guys, is that when you're in relationships, you got to stop pointing the finger at the other person all the time. Sometimes you got to do a self-assessment and look at you and see what you're contributing or what you're not contributing to the relationship. And if you're in a relationship where it's just a whole lot of foolishness going on, you got to stop blaming the other person and blaming yourself, because at this point now, you're putting up with it, you're dealing with it. And so again, look at what you're doing in the relationship. And I think it's something else in regards to that is in the 12 years. I'm giving you one more. Your partner, and maybe we can read some comments. Your partner gaslights you causing you to doubt yourself and your perception of reality. All right.
I'm taking care of you guys. How are you?
So, gaslighting is when your partner knows that your intuition is correct, but tries to muddy the waters by causing you to second guess yourself. Alright, like suggestion that you are overreacting or completely off base. Alright, so that happens a lot of times too. You get into relationships and the person that you're with can sometimes try to make you feel like you're always in the wrong or they're never wrong. And then try to make you feel less than. I can recall being in a relationship, and I was told. Well, I'm trying to think. What was the comment that was made? Nobody else is gonna want you. This, that, and the other. What have you? You can't do better than me. You know, all kinds of things. And that's, again, where you have to start looking at you, take those self-assessments, and not let anybody else tear you down. You have to know your worth when it comes to relationships. Somebody in a relationship who is angry, who is bitter, a lot of times will find ways to tear you down. Will find ways to tear you down to build themselves up. One more example, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Chris. So, another situation with my daughter. Now, she was in a relationship in high school, and, you know, the little boy was loving life with Bree, and, you know, oh my gosh, I was so glad she got rid of this dude. But he was always under her, wondering where she was going, but that's not the point. And so they finally broke it off. Bree broke it off with him, thank you, Father. But then he was telling Bree that she was ugly, or just saying really negative things to her. I said, well, Bree, and of course it bothered her. If somebody at 17 or somebody told me I'm ugly, yeah, it's gonna bother me.
He ugly.
That's right. So
inside and out.
So I told Brianna, I said, Brianna, you really gotta think about that and analyze that. I said, if you were ugly,
you would have got what you in the first place.
Exactly. And so you have to learn to ignore things that people say. Again, sometimes when people are hurt, when people are angry, they'll say anything to make you feel the same way, because misery loves company. We gonna read some of the comments?
And it definitely does. I'm gonna go back a little bit, and definitely some true statements being said here. Eleanor says, I see the red flag and still think it's green. Eleanor.
That green
that
does not
happen.
mean go.
Right, it doesn't mean go, but sometimes I've been in a place where I have done that. Just to give the person some leeway and some room to hopefully they get it and understand what they did, even with just having a minor conversation with them about the circumstance of what happened. But sometimes some people just don't get it, and sometimes they don't want to get it because they want to seem clueless to continue to do what they want to do. Kanye says, know the intent behind those words and actions. Intent
exactly.
is often ignored, and that's why sometimes when I see or when I hear or I see certain things, I have to address it almost immediately. I don't let it slide. I don't let it go. Even if I gotta wait a little bit, because I'm not the person I used to be, whereas though I would embarrass somebody out in public, straight right there, right then and there. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to get out of that, because not only does it make you look crazy, it also makes the other person look crazy too. Because we had a crazy moment, a crazy situation, but I would address it later, maybe on the ride home or somewhere private where we can talk and address it. The other question, Kanye says, took me 2 children and a couple of felonies before I grew up and started paying attention. I get it. Now understand. A lot of times I paid attention, but because I wanted a relationship, because I wanted to be with somebody, even when those situations had arisen, I would address them and keep it moving, thinking that it's going to be over and done with. But new situations have continued to arise, and things got worse, things never got better. So eventually, after trying every option on the planet to keep this relationship, make the relationship better. You can't make a relationship better with a person who is consistently doesn't grow,
Right.
don't love you the same,
Or growing in a different direction.
or they're always moving in a growing
Right,
in a different
exactly.
direction. So it's not always fair to you. So just in that capacity, I had to learn to leave shit alone. Sometimes we stay in relationships or be in situations much longer than we need to, and we come
Right.
out beat up and hurt than coming out refreshed like, whoo, I'm glad I got that shit off my shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Going to the shoulders off. All right. So, Special K, we are talking about red flags in existing relationships and potential relationships. So I'm going to go back to gaslighting, guys. It says gaslighting is damaging because not only is your partner lying, but they are messing with your reality, which adds an extra layer of betrayal and jeopardizes your mental health. And that's why I said,
What's that mean?
hold on.
And look, I was like, I heard the word before, but I didn't know what it means. Gaslighting.
Basically, your partner convincing you that you're less than who you
shit.
are.
That ain't
Okay, gaslighting is when your partner knows that your intuition is correct but tries to muddy the waters by causing you to second guess yourself.
Minimizing.
Right, exactly. So, learn to trust your gut. If you feel strongly that something is amiss, you are probably right. So, I'm going to give y'all two more because this second one, number 4, I wanted to really touch on. But number 3 says your partner refuses to make an effort to spend time with your family and friends. If you notice that you are always making excuses for why your partner is never free to join you in social settings, this may cause for an honest conversation. Alright. So number 4, your partner is rude or mean to strangers. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all why this is like hitting home for me. Pay attention to the small things, how they interact with the server at the restaurant, the Lyft driver, or the stranger at Trader Joe's. Harsh treatment of strangers can say a lot about how they view others. Note that bad behavior towards strangers typically evolves into how they eventually treat you. Now, my situation, my red flag wasn't that he was mean to other people. My red flag came in with like the slightest little things would like just set him off. And unfortunately, I've had 2 men in my life where the slightest thing is like, it's like 0 to 100. I can recall being in one relationship and he could hear somebody back on, who is that? Who is this? Where you going? Where you at? Who is this? What color drawers you got on? You ain't answer the phone.
Yo,
And he
I
was
just texted why you ain't respond.
right, and he was like really crazy, but but I didn't see those things initially because he was really nice dude, nice guy, you know. But then when he suspected that I was doing something, this dude just like flipped out. He just flipped out like, yo, what's going on? I know what you're doing. I know what you did. Blah, 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 blah. And so, of course, that's a red flag. Sometimes in relationships, especially when it comes to that little jealousy, when that rears its ugly head, it's like sometimes like, he cares. He cares. He really cares, But then after a while, when it's like constant and it's all the time, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
And I can recall another relationship, and I've said this on the show 100 times. I've never seen rage in anybody's face like I saw in this dude's face. Never, ever in my life, except on TV. And
actors.
That was a red flag. That was a red flag right there. And a friend of mine knows this dude. They're super cool with this dude. And he was like, Les, XYZ and blah, blah, blah happened. We knew that you wasn't... We knew you wasn't going to keep on dealing with him because you wasn't going to put up with that. I said, wait a minute. You knew this shit and you didn't tell me.
It's on a need-to-know basis.
He's like, I thought you knew. Hell no, I didn't know. What are you talking about? I didn't know. But anywho, yeah. But if your partner lashes out at other people, is always angry, that's probably a red flag, and you kind of want to look at that and then find out what the hell this dude's history is. And let me say this, it's not just the women who don't see red flags. There are are men who don't see red flags either. So this is not
Happens all the time.
bashing women in their decisions. People in general don't see red flags.
Now, one of the things too is, and as I was cracking up, Eleanor says, in the beginning of a relationship, she says, I'll always come across angelic. I think in a way, I always try to put forward my best person. Anybody, I mean, it don't make a difference. Because that's who I am naturally. But once I get out of my natural element, oh, you're going to see something else. So.
Wait a minute, y'all. Let me tell y'all something happened. This was a couple of years ago. This is when EDP 365 had more people. And we was getting ready to do this event. Somebody set up an event for us. And shit just started going haywire. This dude right here. Y'all, I thought Chris was going to blow up somebody's establishment. So you don't want to get into it with this dude. I was like, you know what? I'm so glad. And he was really looking out for me, though. You know, and I was so happy to know that I have friends who will look out for me if something happens, if something goes down. But I'm like, yo, don't blow up the building.
I'm going to do a Shaft or a Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
Yeah, we ain't want Chris going back, y'all. And you know, this is the funny thing about Chris. I'm sorry, I'm getting away from the conversation. Well, wait a minute, maybe this is a red flag for his wife. But you know, and when Chris is talking, he's just as calm. That motherfucker. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. And he's like so calm, y'all. Me, I'm going off. I'm yelling. I'm cursing like that motherfucker. Y'all, just yeah, that can't happen. This can't go on. All right, go ahead. Sorry, y'all. I digress. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
But this is why we address a lot of red flags or things that we did not particularly care about alike in the beginning, and come to a compromise on how we're going to handle and how we're going to handle situations together. That'll help to alleviate some of those things. But one of the things too, I was just saying, when you talk about anybody can say anything. Anybody can treat you well, talk to you well, all those things. But a red flag is watch them behaviors. Watch the behaviors, because anybody can talk. They got the gift of gab, but at the same time, the actions reflect something totally different.
Exactly. Your words don't match your actions, and that's the problem.
That's a big red flag for me. You got to pay attention to how the person acts and how they respond to you. And another thing that solution, a lot of people, especially when they came in this digital age, a lot of people don't trust themselves. They don't use their discernment. They don't trust that first instinct, which you should hold and behold first before all things, because that's your natural defense system. Something in your body is triggering that, or telling you that, or making you feel like that. There's a reason for it. A lot of people dismiss it and move on. So it allows a lot of things to happen in your relationships, in your life, that could have been actually cut out or not happen a long time ago. Some of the comments. One of the things that Kanye said that was important, a lot of people do not take ownership of their relationships and of their relationships. A lot of people, like she said, a lot of people thought I was nice until they really got to know me. No, I'm a nice person. She's a nice person. You're a nice person. But the issue, the problem is when it comes to that space where you got to step up, you got to, for yourself, or you got to let somebody know, hey, this is the line right here. Don't cross that motherfucker, or you will have a problem.
All right, so let me share this one. Your partner has trouble apologizing. I've often heard people say she doesn't like to apologize, but I know she's sorry. Or he doesn't apologize much, but he makes up for it by being nice after we fight. Being able to apologize is a sign of maturity. It says, I'm willing to be accountable. I can admit my mistakes. The red flag here is that over time, your relationship will suffer. if the only person owning up to misdeeds is you. And it is. That's a problem in a relationship, in relationships, when your partner, your husband, your wife, your boo, whatever, never wants to admit they're wrong. They're quick to point out something that you've done wrong. I'm sorry, guys. So, what the heck was I getting ready to say?
What's wrong in the relationships?
So, like I said, when you have somebody in a relationship who never wants to apologize for anything, they're not accountable. They're not admitting and owning and being responsible for whatever actions that they take. And in that, if you're feeling that they're sorry, how long can you, we have guests, guys. How long can you continue to be in a relationship where you have someone who is, I'm getting a high five,
Nutsy?
from Nutsy and the Squirrels.
Hey.
So they just jump right on in the live. Okay. Unexpected guest. And so
That's awesome.
this is what happens when you're on location. Yeah, folks just jumping all in your video.
Yeah, it's a nice live.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. All right, so that was cool, y'all. It was a little break. Y'all can actually see that this isn't a green screen as fake as we are live at the
I tried to
Diamond.
tell them, they thought I was lying.
So again, like I said, that can be a really big problem in relationships when you're the only one apologizing, and then the person that you're with never does apologize, because then in that, it makes it feel like they can never be wrong, and it's like you're always the problem, which is a problem. All right.
But sometimes that person is the problem, and they don't want to take responsibility for it. They don't want to step up. They don't want to do the right thing. They always this and that and the third. I was in a relationship like that, but trust me, anytime that I was wrong, it was like a nuclear bomb went off in it. It was crazy. It's always the crime. Oh, you did this.
You gotta stand your ground in those kind of relationships, because nobody is always wrong. And yes, only on EDP 365. Yeah, nobody is always wrong.
No,
again, we all make mistakes. We all make bad choices sometimes. But again, we got to be accountable for our choices. All right.
Let me read this real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Rob made an important point. Rob says, I think most people have those issues, is that we have forgotten how to date. Take time to know and learn a person's actions and body language other than just the words.
Good night, Kay.
People meet 2 or 3 times, and the next thing you know, wedding bells and shit. People also catch feelings entirely too quick, and you're entirely right. But a lot of times when that happens, it's because people are in a vulnerable place, or they're already in that place where they are wanting something so bad that, again, like we talked about earlier, is they just bypass all the red flags. Just somebody who's paying you some attention, and they go ahead and put that fish hook in. You can't get away, you can't get on, can't get away. All
right, welcome, Kay. All right, so I think Kay is left. Have a good night, Kanya, for watching. What's up, El Bravador? Superstar. All right, y'all. So the next one. Your partner is weirdly possessive or secret about their cell phone. And I think we're going to do a show on this, guys. Should your partner be able to go through your telephone? I got mixed feelings about that. If you are in a relationship with someone who is always on a cell phone or glued to a screen, this is an obvious relationship red flag. But another more subtle cause for concern is a partner who is overly possessive of their phone. For example, if your battery dies and you want to borrow their phone to make a call, but they won't hand you the phone without first looking at the screen, it's quite likely they have something to hide.
But
so
that is true. I get it. But the second thing is, people, we call them dopamines. when somebody do something, you get that good feeling in your chemistry. These cell phones have created an environment. Dopamine. You all know what I'm talking about. Where people have become addicted to their phones. They are more connected to the phone than they are to you or as in your relationship. Don't get that it's an addiction. It's like somebody would rather go drink or do crack or go do something else rather than, be in a relationship or do whatever that is that you're going to do. It's just real. That's what these cell phones and computers and laptops and things have done to us. You get more attention, likes, and feedback from a cell phone more instantaneously than you would sometimes with just having a regular partner. Some people are just not connected like that.
Yeah, but again, I can't wait to have the topic about should you be able to go through your partner's phone or look at your partner's phone or what have you. Like I said, I'm on the fence with that one. If there's trust in your relationship, if you trust me, why do you need to go through my phone? Obviously, you're not trusting me. And then 2, I don't know if I want to play detective. But again, that's a red flag. They never want you to see the phone. And of course, the red flag is going to go up. You're always hiding your phone. You always have it on vibrate or you turn it off after 10 o'clock. What are you doing? What are you hiding? All right. Look at my phone, but expect to be amazed.
No, can't. No. Find a charger, charge your phone up.
But I need to make a call.
Hold up. I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna go by the store. Payphone. We use that.
But my thing is, I had to tell somebody this before. If you're bold enough to sit in front of me and do something, I'm bold enough to sit there and look at what you're doing. But anywho, can we read the comment from my mom? What's going on, Mom? I could be near the end.
Near the end? All right.
So I'm going to go on to this one while Chris is looking for my mom's response. Your partner's time and money are often accounted for. The key here is unaccounted for. When time and money goes missing, that's generally a sign that someone is off
Wow.
base. All right, so.
Thank you. I appreciate this. She says, be careful with the apologetic person. Be sure that the person is sincere and not going to continue the same behavior. That's facts. That's a definite true statement. I've dealt with several people who go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, I apologize. Like, yeah, damn, you are sorry, for real. Like, you shouldn't have to keep apologizing to me for any and every little thing, especially if you know what you're doing is out of place or is wrong, or, making it say, oh, that's just being me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
Okay, well, do it without me.
Absolutely.
All right.
Eleanor says, I can't be held responsible for what's there before he came into the picture. Yeah, sometimes, but once he's in the picture, both of y'all together, make it work.
If you can find a payphone.
Do the right thing.
LOL. All right, so again, y'all, I can't wait to have this topic on cell phones. We won't get into that. All right, number 8. Your partner stops going out of their way to do nice things for you or never did them in the first place. Now, we all know that in the beginning of a relationship, we put our best foot forward and are attentive to our partner's needs. As time progresses, we sometimes lose the motivation to go out of our way to do little things to please our partner. Positive regard is when you are happy to make your partner happy. When it is your pleasure to make your partner's life a bit easier. Constant positive regard increases relationship satisfaction and enforces goodwill. So let me say this about doing nice things for your partner. This is something that I've dealt with, where is in the beginning of the relationship, we went out of our ways to make each other happy, surprising each other with things. Again, like I said, going out of our way to make each other happy. And then, things started to change, where it's, well, you're not doing this for me, so I'm not doing this for you. And that can be a problem, where if you're only doing something because I'm doing it, what does that say? That means you have no desire to really make me happy. You're waiting to see what I'm going to do, and in turn, then you'll do something. No, I want you to do something because that's what you genuinely want to do for me. If this is what you genuinely want me to have. Because what ends up happening is, well, now I see that you're not doing anything for me. What the hell makes you think I'm going to do something for you? And it becomes a constant back and forth, and it becomes a tug of war. If you get to the point in your relationship where you don't have that enthusiasm, and you don't want to go out your way, or you don't want to find ways to make your partner happy, and it's based on, and I know at some point it ties in. But if it's always, well, I'm waiting on you to do something, then why are we together if you got to wait on me to do something? You know what I mean? It should be, you're doing this because that's what you want. My thing in relationships is, if you're making me happy, I'm going to make you happy. But if I'm miserable, it's no way I can try to put into trying to make you happy. And so you have to find that balance. You got to find that balance. And then if it gets to the point where you don't have the desire to make your partner happy, then you have to reevaluate the relationship and figure out whether or not you still want to continue. I'm going to say this and then give it back to Chris. Now, again, it says, we all know that in the beginning of a relationship, we put our best foot forward and are attentive to our partner's needs. This is something that my mother told me. When you get into a relationship with somebody and you start doing things in the beginning, you've got to be prepared to continue to do those things that you did in the beginning. Because if this is how the relationship has been going and you've been doing this, now all of a sudden stuff is starting to decline and you're not doing those same things and you're not doing anything to supersede that, then that's a problem. And again, that's a red flag, because that can mean anything. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that the person is cheating, but again, it could. They could be cheating. They could be losing interest. It could be some other problems where you're not sitting and having the conversations. And so,
Illinois is right, consistency.
Yeah, and you have to be consistent in things. Because when you're not, again, there goes those red flags.
Yeah, just even mentioning that, you have some people that no matter what you do, you're never going to please that person.
Right.
Nothing that you do. You could have a new Beamer truck outside, Infinity truck, and they'll find something about the interior, or, oh, it had a bird pooped on the window. You got to take this back. Some things you can do for people, it's just never enough.
Start reevaluating the relationships if those things are happening.
And Kay said something that was important. She says, if a person keeps questioning you about friends of the opposite sex, can be a red flag. No, it is a red flag. Because a lot of times when you talk about things like that, I've been in, dated people, been in relationships with people who always question, oh, why are you on EDP with Les today? Or why you gotta do this? Or why you gotta do that? That girl was looking at you. You wanna be with her? I go get a number for you. Or it's just one thing after another.
Right.
Or you can't go anywhere together. They think you.
Right, exactly. That I had that issue with Todd. When me and Todd would hang out, go out, do things. Are you and Todd married? Are you and Todd? Excuse me. In a relationship, what's going on? Nothing. We've been friends forever.
We've been friends before we even knew you.
Excuse me.
So chill with that. Oh, you was good, talking and hanging out and doing all that stuff prior to that. Now we in a relationship, or we thinking about taking things to the next level. Now you catching feelings. Put your feelings back in, put them somewhere in your pocket.
Put it in your pocket.
Put it back somewhere, but tuck it away, because that's not going to change. I will never, not unless my friend is negative, or he or she is being destructive to my relationship or to myself, or being rude or disrespectful. I'm not going to change my relationship because somebody else's insecurities, or I might not go places as much, but I'm still not going to not hang with that person or call and talk to that person or text them. So that's what it is.
Okay. So number 9, your partner doesn't respect your boundaries. Does your partner respect your time, your physical boundaries, and important people in your life? Does the relationship cause you to miss work, diss friends, and family, or feel uncomfortable where sexuality is involved? Many chalk up boundary violations to passion early in relationships, but repeated overstepping may show a pattern of disrespect. Decide early on where your boundaries are and what you're comfortable compromising and stick to it. Repeated violations are a bad sign. So, this is something else. You have to set boundaries in a relationship. When you don't set boundaries, people tend to walk all over you and do whatever they want to do. And so again, you have to decide how important the relationship is to you. Okay, well, I don't like it when dude does X, Y, Z and blah, 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 blah. Well, if I tell him, he might get mad because now he can't do this. But again, people have to learn to respect what your boundaries are. People have to learn to respect when you say no. You know, I don't think in any relationship you have to constantly give in to somebody else's needs and somebody else's wants. It has to be a balance. Okay, well, you want to go out tonight? I don't feel like going out tonight because I'm tired, or I don't want to lay with my legs up. I'm tired. Whatever the case may be, you have to find a balance, and you have to find a balance, and you have to compromise, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody and, you know, for the most part, the relationship is good, but because today they don't give in to what your needs are, now you're mad. Come on. Again, respect people's boundaries. Understand why people may or may not want to do something. Okay, well, we can't do it today. Maybe we can do it tomorrow. Again, and again, here comes the weed and seed. Excuse me. And I talk about this all the time. Now, y'all know I always say, and this is not knocking anybody who loves anal sex, not knocking you. That's what you like. Kudos, more power to you. But it's not anything that I like, so that's a boundary for me. And so if I get in a relationship with somebody tomorrow, that's a boundary. And so he has to decide whether or not he wants to push forward in a relationship with that boundary.
Facts. And again, how many will we get?
3.
All right.
Well, what time?
One of the things that I would definitely say, another red flag to me is people who consistently or constantly disappear. You know, they disappearing, no call, no phone, no nothing. Not that it really means anything, it's just a red flag to say that, I don't know, something else is going on, rather than, I don't think they're being totally honest when people disappear like that. Not saying that you have to be in constant contact or whatever that is, or when people can't tell you where they're going, you know, vague answers, stuff like that. Some other shit is going on.
Alright, so as we said, you and that anal sex list, I only use that as the example, Ashley, because I have been asked that in a relationship and it's like, no, it's not going to happen, I'm not doing it. And a lot of men like that. And when you decide that you're not going to do it, it's a turn off for most men and they don't want to continue to be in a relationship if you can't meet that requirement.
Now, has he ever been to jail?
Oh, hell no. Alright, number 10. Your partner makes fun of you in front of other people even after you've asked him or her not to. And not just makes fun of you, but yells at you, argues, says demeaning things to you. That's a problem. Especially if you tell them, well, you know what, when we're out in public, don't do X, Y, Z. When they continue, again, that's a problem. You know, sometimes things happen in the heat of the moment. And so, of course, you try to avoid that. But if it's something that's constant, something you need to look at because that's a disrespectful mother. You know, and so, again, learn to respect your partner. There's nothing that says you're not going to have issues in relationships. You're not going to have arguments. You're not going to be mad at each other. But the one thing you got to learn to do when you're in a relationship, do that shit at home. Talk about it at home. Don't disrespect your person. The person that you're with, don't disrespect them out in front of other people. I think that's just one of the worst things for me to be with somebody and we out somewhere and this dude is fucking disrespectful. That just makes me mad beyond what I could possibly tell y'all. Because like I said, the same respect that you want me to give you is the same respect that you should give me. And if you can't respect me, then we shouldn't be together. But learn to respect one another. And I'm not saying be disrespectful in private, but more so when you're out in public. When people see you treating the person you're with bad, I just have such issues with that. Chris?
Yeah, because, you know, when somebody see you do specific certain things, they're not going to respect the person that you with, for one. And you got to look at it too. They might not respect you because you look like an ass tripping for something small, something that shouldn't even be tripped about. You know, that's all I gotta say about that.
All right, your partner is in a bad mood more often than not. When irritability is the default, if your partner is rude, unkind, or disrespectful, don't kid yourself into thinking it's not a big deal. It is. Again, watch how they treat other people, because they very well may treat you the same
it's coming your way. I've had friends that I've moved away from because of how they treated and done shit to other people. Because one day, not one day, it's going to happen. They're going to come your way with something one day. It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Like, wow, like I can't believe this motherfucker tried this shit, or they act like this towards me. You know what I'm saying? So,
but something else, an even bigger problem with that, and we could read like those last comments from Eleanor and Ashley. Something else that makes this even worse is when the person doesn't even think that it's disrespectful, or they're not aware that it's disrespectful. It's a problem, because that means more than likely it's not going to change because they don't see anything wrong with their behavior, and it means it's probably going to continue because they don't see anything wrong with what they do.
But that's why you address it. Attack it. And
right.
Anytime you do it.
So, just again, I think at that point you need to reevaluate the relationship and have those conversations. All right.
Ashley says public embarrassment for me is a no-no. You should never belittle your partner in the presence of other people. You can't expect others to respect them if you don't. And I agree 100% with that. I can't stand to see couples out fighting and looking stupid. I'm gonna tell you one thing about me as an individual person. It took me a long time to actually learn and get on board with this. If I felt somebody was being rude or disrespectful to me, I'm gonna be rude and disrespectful to you. I don't give a damn where we are, what we doing, where we at. It could be in church. Oh, you gonna care? I don't care. You're not gonna sit up here and say something to me and think it's all good, like you getting away with nothing. Nah, we gonna address this right here, right now. That's it. That's what it is. So I mean, I've learned that from other people. I wouldn't attack anybody first, but if you done something so blatant to get me out of character, I'm gonna address it right then and there. Yo, what's wrong with you, Mom? Huh?
Okay.
Y'all know that.
I think the thing that sometimes saves me from going off in public is that I don't need people all in my business. I don't need people all in my business, but it just sometimes with that tongue, just can't be held. All right, hey, Atika. All right, so your partner, number 12, this is the last one. Your partner constantly talks about themselves and rarely shows interest in your life. This red flag is partially about their self-centeredness and partially about you teaching them that only their stories are important. Let me say this real quick. When we encourage, let me go back. We're talking about these red flags, but don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen.
We all make
when
mistakes.
you encourage the behavior, hey Wayne, when you encourage the behavior, then it's gonna continue to happen. When somebody's not treating you right, I'm sorry, address it. If they're not treating you the way you want to be treated, then you have to address it. And this is what I hate about men. Yes, I said men. Because normally with men, when you address something that they're doing, oh, you complaining, oh, you bitching, oh, you blah, 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 blah,
Be
blah.
nagging, yo. Straight
Oh,
up.
yeah, that's another word y'all men use. Oh, you're nagging. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, and y'all men can take it however y'all want to take it. If we continue to put up with shit we don't like, y'all are just going to continue to do it. You should be able to say to somebody, you know what? I didn't like what you did. I didn't blah, 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 blah. And men, and this is women too, don't minimize your partner's feelings. If you made your partner feel a certain way and it wasn't a good feeling, don't minimize how they're feeling. You did something to hurt that individual's feelings. Stop minimizing other people's feelings. And
Nice.
people do that a lot. Stop minimizing. You can't tell me how what you did made me feel. You can't tell me that. I guess that bothers me when people minimize other people's feelings. If somebody, and I'm talking, especially if this is your spouse, your boo, whatever, if you've done something and they're coming to you, have the conversation so y'all can be able to move on from it and fix whatever the issues are, especially if you're deciding that this is the person that you want to continue to be with. Have the conversations. Stop always thinking somebody bitching. No, nigga, I'm telling you about the shit you doing is not right. Either fix it or we need to have a different kind of conversation.
Sometimes having a different conversation is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it also going to lead, look, if I have to have this conversation so many times, I'm stepping to the right or to the left.
But that means the behavior isn't changing. If somebody's coming to you, man or woman, they coming to you and they telling you the same stuff, they're nagging or bitching
Ain't
about
nobody
the
coming
same
to me
thing,
about nothing.
then that means the behavior hasn't changed. If I'm telling you, oh, I'll fix it, and the behavior hasn't changed, that's a problem.
It is.
That
It's
is a
definitely
problem.
a problem.
And again, a reason to reevaluate. And if it means we need to break up,
That's right.
then we got to move on. But why keep going through all this turmoil?
That's
And
exactly
then
what I
neither
mean.
one of us are
Stepping
happy.
to the right or stepping to the left. I'm out the way.
All right. So, did you want to add something? Because I was going to do final thoughts.
Oh, no.
All right. So, here are my final thoughts. And then I have some other things I want to share with you guys. Have y'all been looking at the game while y'all been in here watching EDP 365? So, like I was saying, my final thought is, pay attention to the red flags. But again, have the conversation initially. Do your weed and see it in the beginning. Find out if this person is the person for you. Ask those questions. Ask the tough questions. If you find that this person is not for you, you've got to be able to make the decision to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on from the relationship. And I'm going to say this because I have been guilty of this.
And even slide, put them in there. Hey, okay, we can be cool, but ain't nothing else popping on.
Yeah. So let me say, I have been guilty of this, guys, where I've been in a relationship. It's like, yo, the shit you doing is not cool. And we have that conversation, well, yeah, now I understand. I see it how you see it. But again, if they keep going back to the same behavior, this is not the person I need to be with.
One more quick red flag.
Go ahead. Excuse me.
Anybody who hold grudges forever, it's gonna make you miserable. The person's miserable. Gonna make you miserable. Y'all not gonna be able to make it or be together.
Right.
Holding grudges in every month, 2 months, 3 months down the line, you bringing up something from the past. It's a big red flag that you can't let go. You can't love, forgive, and let go. It's a problem.
Sometimes you just gotta let go. So like I said, pay attention to the red flags. Because again, later on, it could be an issue for you. You can end up being, like Chris said earlier, being in a relationship longer than you really want it to be, wasting a lot of time, energy, money, emotion with somebody when either you could have been focusing on you or you could have been putting that time and energy into somebody else.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
You want to share your final thoughts?
Again, I just really quick, I just want to say that one of my final thoughts would be, again, when you see stuff happening, address it. If you don't address it, don't ghost a person by or not communicating with them, letting them know what's going on. I believe in opportunities, but sometimes giving too much time in one area or specific people is an issue, it's a problem. And again, there's always truth and a personal connection to statements or jokes. You mentioned something earlier about somebody always being minimizing you or being disrespectful to you or making jokes about you and this and that and the third. To some degree, they really truly feel that way about you or think that way about you. So pay attention to those things. And the last thing I would just say is, sometimes actions speak louder than words. Pay more attention to the actions than the words. But sometimes words mean more than the action, because some people are verbal and not active in carrying that out, but they're really feeling that from the inside, and it's coming out. So pay attention to those type of things. That's my final thought.
Do you have anything for the men's corner?
For men's corner tonight, I just wanted to, tell the men, take time out to focus and refocus on yourself, your dreams, your goals, a new relationship, or somehow revamp your current relationship. And take time out to enjoy you. Take time out to enjoy your life. Everything is not negative. There's always a positive and a negative, depending on how you view it. And enjoy your life, enjoy the present. So whatever's going on, start to enjoy you, enjoy your life, enjoy people, enjoy the things around you. That's my thought for Men's Corner this evening.
You have something you need to take care of?
Mm-hmm.
I can hold it down for you.
Can you do this? That Happy Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let me share some things with you guys. Next week on the show, now this is interesting. I had a conversation with, I think this dude was like 31. He was like, Les, can you get me on your show? And I'm like, well, yeah, what do you want to talk about? He's like, I want to talk about why men cheat and why men get caught cheating and why women don't get caught cheating. So I can't wait to hear the perspective of this young dude who's 31. I think it's going to be really, really different. So if he follows through, y'all know how young folk do. But if he follows through, that's what we're talking about next week. Why men get caught cheating and why women don't. All right, so the May issue of EDP 365 is online. Ladies, check out that. Ready to Rumble on Grown Folks Business. We've got our archive shows on there. Words of Inspiration. Go out and read that. That's my journal there. The bookshelf. If you're an author, get your book on the bookshelf. It is free. There's nothing like being able to promote. Why not have 1, 2, 10, 200 people to online practice? Did you say, I can't see that. I got to move up to the camera. One love. Oh, one love. Peace. So, yeah, if you're an author, get your book on the bookshelf. I would love for people to be able to promote what they're doing in EDP 365. All right.
There's a promise, I will.
Business showers. If you're a business owner, talk to me about having a business shower. A business shower is like a baby shower or a bridal shower, except you're celebrating the launch of your new business. People come in, they give you gifts to support your business. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me and I can help you plan your business shower. The CNL Woman to Woman Conference is happening on August the 3rd, 2019. 4 dynamic speakers, myself, Miss Katina Brake, Miss Sonia Ball Williams, and my coach, and a big shout out to Monique. Kudos, Monique. We're all going to be speakers at this great event. We have a special appearance by Miss Special K. She's going to be there at the event. We have 8 great vendors who are coming through. We have Mr. Raja E. Raw, the cheatologist himself, Miss Valerie McAllister, who is an author. We have Kay of Kay's Candy. She's going to be there. Damsel in Defense, Mary Kay. We have someone who's doing gourmet popcorn. We have someone who provides counseling service, and this gets me every time. I always forget who the 8th person is. I'm going to try to think about that before y'all go. Don't forget about potion number 2, spray and go before you, spray and go so no one knows. Everyone poops, no one likes to smell it. $3 per bottle for the 15 milliliter bottle. Spray it on the water, it eliminates the poop smell. And so y'all, it comes in 4 great scents: citrus, alpha mist, orange slice, and island breeze. Also, don't forget to celebrate your small victories, whether they're small or large. If you have not joined EDP 365, join EDP 365. You can also go to the eMag and you can start putting information on the blog page. You can put information about the shows, things that you want us to talk about. You can always go to edp365.com for that. Meet, Connect, Promote. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, brand builder, join Meet, Connect, Promote, and there you can post all your information. ADAC, Authors Den and Co-op. If you're an author, you can go there to promote your book. Reach out to other authors, talk about some events that's going on. Because sometimes, we don't catch everything. If you got some topics you want us to talk about, then you can do that as well. Or since you're back. And I'm going to try to think of who this 8th person is while Chris does that.
I just wanted to bring to your attention, Happy Entertainment presents Unity Designers Fashion Show, which we're going to have special guest hosts. We got a food special guest host, special designers, and one of the designers that's going to be there that I really admire and I appreciate this brother, love him to death, Visionaire Canvas Apparel, Mark Durite. There's vendors, there's going to be performances. This is going to be at the Space 3301, Chalfont Drive, Richmond, Virginia. It's going to be Saturday, June 1st. The doors open up at 1. The show starts at 3 p.m. So I want y'all to get there and be there. I have tickets. I definitely will be modeling at this event. Tickets are $15. I have 10 tickets left. So I look forward. Just contact me at authorchristopherallen@gmail.com or call me at 804-464-8479. And definitely, get up with me so I'll be able to get the tickets to you or meet you or however that's going to be. Get your tickets today for this event. I can't wait for it.
All right, so one more time, I got it, y'all. Raja E. Raw, the author, entrepreneur, business owner, playwright. Valerie McAllister, she's an author. Kay Kanye, sex expert to the show. She's doing so much. I can't even begin to list everything that she's doing. We have Damsel in Defense. We have Mary Kay. We have Paparazzi. That's what I was actually missing. Paparazzi. Excuse me. Paparazzi, Damsel in Defense, and we have someone who provides counseling services. So that's it for tonight, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. I hope y'all like our different, our location show for tonight.
This is not a green screen or a backdrop. And from Team EDP 365, tune in with us every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
I gotta find some water.
And again, stay focused, be positive, continue to create, follow your dreams, no drama, no hating, and most importantly, become or stay woke. And from Team EDP 365, we love you and we out. I'm gonna go enjoy this game and eat.
Oh,
Peace.
Y'all keep my business partner for the conference in prayer.
Oh.
Has some things going on with her family this morning, so please keep them in prayer. Y'all have a good Tuesday night.
Peace, knuckles.